What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing my fitness story, my fitness journey. um, just telling y'all a little bit about how I got into this, why I got into this, and sharing the whole journey, because I think really that's what this is all about. I love hearing people's stories, and I just want y'all to know a little bit more about me and just this journey, because man, it's been a long journey, lots of ups and downs, lots of starting, stopping. um, just want to share those things with y'all. I think sometimes we see things on the internet and stuff, we get this idea that this thing, I guess it could be fitness, is easy, or some people may even see me and think, oh, because I got the channel and I post sometimes, oh, he has it all figured out when it comes to fitness and he's perfect and all this stuff. And it's just not the case. So I just want to open up and share some of my journey with you all, and maybe you resonate with this video, you've been through similar things, and yeah, let's get straight into it. All right, so first let's take it back to how I got started. So I started lifting when I was about, I think I was about like 21, 22 years old. So I really started training when I was in the military. So I joined the military straight after high school. But yeah, I started training when I was deployed. My first deployment was to Afghanistan, and we had like a little deal in the back. I'll put some pictures on the screen. It was like, man, I think we used to train with sandbags. We just had some stuff that was rigged up. And Marines, they like to work out and stuff. I wasn't really into it, but I knew to keep up with them, I had to work out. And in my time of not patrolling and stuff like that, I needed something to do. So I was like, I may as well work out, with my Marines and stuff like that. And I gotta be in shape to keep up. So start working out, and of course you see the results, and you're like, man, this is pretty dang cool. You start to see your body changing. It's one of the coolest things, right? To just see your body change like that. So I started getting addicted, and I just loved it, right? And that carried on to, once we got back to the States. And even when I got out of the military, I got out of the military in 20, man, my memory is bad, forgive me, y'all. I think it was 2013. And even in the military, well, this is something I've always struggled with. I've always struggled with some of like my mental health and stuff like that, being depressed. This is even something that I struggled with in high school. I used to tell my mom about it. I was like, something's not right. And I would go through these periods where, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be around anybody. I used to ignore friends sometimes, and I just wanted to be in my room with the room shut, and I just wanted to sleep, right? Even my mom had noticed it. She had brought it up. But, it's something I kind of carried on to the military. And then even when I got out of the military, that depression hit me pretty dang bad. I think that had a lot to do with just my change of lifestyle. I had way less structure. I went from somebody telling me what to do all the time to just kind of being thrown out into the real world. And it's like, go out here and make it happen and survive. And yeah, that early 20s was 23. That was just 20s my 20s in general was not good. I had a kid when I was young. I had my son when I think I was 21. Was I 21? Yeah, I was super young. So that was while I was in the military. And I wasn't ready for that. So it was just a lot of things, right? And then trying to work on my mental health. So fitness was something that was always it was a getaway from me. It was something that I was good at, right? It was something that I became passionate about. I would say that is the first thing that I was truly passionate about. Like I loved it, right? I loved to do it. Like I said in the other video, in my early 20s, I trained 7 days a week for a couple years, because I loved it. I loved how it made me feel. I loved how it made me look. Um, and honestly, I just like the idea of just, that's my wife right there pulling up. All right, so I'm starting over. My wife pulled up, kind of threw me off. But okay, so about mid 20s, I'm out the military, still training hard. Um, once I got out, I was trying to find a job. I was trying to just figure out what I wanted to do. Um, just mentally, it was rough. It was rough. Then I was going through some other stuff. Like I said, I had a kid at a young age. It was a lot. It was a lot. I was really trying to find myself and like figure out what I wanted to do. So, you know, 23, mid 20s, still training hard. Um, then I think I started to get on like Instagram and stuff like that. And I started seeing all these influencers and things like that. I think during that time I was real big on like what's the dude name? Ulysses, I think. The dude that he used to train with Simeon Panda. Simeon Panda was another one. Um, and then even like Beast Mode Jones, stuff like that. Start seeing those guys, man, and their physiques and stuff like that. And I was like, man, their stuff is crazy. Um, and I was young and dumb too, and I thought a lot of that stuff. I didn't even know these guys were. A lot of these guys, I can't speak for all of them, but I didn't know that some of them were not even um, natural, right? I did not know that till later on. So I thought like that was attainable. I started getting into that Instagram stuff, started seeing that, and it really started to just motivate me and just make me want to go harder, right? Because I was like, man, I want to look like that, which a lot of people are like, they see these people online, and you're like, I want results like that. Um, but some of these people, they're not natural, and a lot of people don't know that. So yeah, I started really getting into like the bodybuilding type stuff, the bodybuilding lifestyle and training, and eventually that led to me competing. So if you've been on the channel for a while, you see I competed. I think that's when I started my YouTube channel, um, and I started that just because I love fitness and I wanted to share my journey and I wanted to motivate others. The name of the channel used to be Motivated Fit. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know that. So I started to get into bodybuilding. I competed in I think it was 2020. It was a couple years after I got out of the military. I competed in I think it was the Ronnie Coleman Classic. Um, I was a middleweight. I got first. I got first in my class, then I competed in the overall. Did not win the overall. Super cool experience. I really did that because I just wanted to push myself to that next level. I wanted to challenge myself. Um, I've always been that type of person. I like to take up a new challenge and see how far I can go, and really push myself. So that was a really cool experience to push myself like that. So yeah, I competed, and during around that time, um, I would say I got really, really obsessed with fitness. I could say during that period, I got really into the bodybuilding stuff to where it kind of like took over my life. That was all I was really focused on. It was just bodybuilding, and I don't even think like I wanted to be like a pro bodybuilder or nothing. I just loved bodybuilding. I loved everything about it. I like that you get exactly what you put into it, right? I just love the whole lifestyle, but it did take over my life. I've talked about this in older videos. If you've been on the channel for a while, you've probably seen them. Fitness took over my life. That was all I was worried about. Super obsessed with my body. Really had no life outside of working out. It was just working out. That was the number one priority. It was always just working out, meal prepping, going to the grocery store to get more protein and food. And yeah, it was just a crazy time. But I didn't even see it at the time that I was obsessed with this, and that was all that mattered. So yeah, that was a crazy time, and I think that's something you have to be careful about, because I do think it's easy to kind of fall in that trap to where you get fitness kind of takes over your life, and it can become kind of toxic because you're just doing that and you're not really living life, and focusing on other things that matter as well. You're just focusing on working out and improving your body. So I do feel like that can become kind of toxic. So you got to be careful when it comes to that. And this was even You know, if I'm not mistaken, you know, my wife even mentioning that to me a couple times, just, you know, just me working out too much, being focused on it too much. So fast forward after that, you know, I'm still working out, um, still focusing on the bodybuilding style. Kind of took a step back from that stuff a little bit and realized I was doing too much. But after that is where I started to get like injuries and things like that. So injuries is what really slowed me down because I couldn't train how I used to. That made me even more depressed. You know, I lost a lot of size. I went through a period where, you know, I was above 200 pounds. I'm a naturally super small guy. You know, I was really pushing it, and then I started getting injured, and I just lost a lot of size. I went through a crazy depression from that. I'm not even gonna lie to you, just because I felt like at that point of time, my identity was fitness in my body, and that was it. Like I said, because that was all that I focused on. So once I lost that and I couldn't train, I did not know what to do with myself. So I was super depressed, and yeah, that was a rough time too. And trying to bounce back from that was super hard. So fast forward to about like the last um, let's say like 3 years, something like that. You know, a lot has changed. You know, I stopped uploading on the channel um, for about 4 years. You know, and during that time, a lot has changed. My whole approach to fitness has changed. You know, during that time period, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's been a lot of starting and stopping. I reached a point to where, you know, I didn't even want to work out. You know, I was just coming home and picking out on all types of crazy food and just not even caring. And it's just some weird times. It's been a lot of weird times in this journey. Like I said, a lot of starting and stopping, a lot of like periods of crazy binge eating. Even that, you know, that's something that I even want to open up and talk about in future videos too, developing these bad like eating habits. And I think, you know, fitness and my mindset kind of played a role in that, and also paying a little bit too much to, you know, some of this stuff I was seeing online. We'll talk about that in a later video. But yeah, I would say like in the past 3 or 4 years is the best I've felt in a long time mentally. It's the best I've felt in a long time. I'm still working out. Um, I did have a period about, I say maybe this was about a year ago, where I had hurt my lower back when I was first started lifting, just lifting wrong, doing deadlifts, lifting too much weight. So I had stopped working out for a long time. The depression got me. This was about a year ago. And then I was just eating really bad. But I think this was the beginning of last year was it the beginning of last year? Yeah, well, I said, okay, it's time to make a change. And I pretty much just hit that switch and I started to get back into it. And I've been very consistent since then. But as you can see, and like I mentioned, it's been a lot of inconsistencies in this journey, a lot of starting and stopping. So just want to let y'all know this journey is, um, it's a roller coaster. Hopefully you can tell by the story, it's a lot that has happened, and a lot has changed. But I'm just glad that I've gotten to a point to where fitness fits into my life. It's not my whole life. It's not my identity. You know, I'm nowhere near the size I used to be, and I'm 100% fine with that. You know, I work out for, you know, a certain body type, but I don't obsess over that. You know what I'm saying? I'm living life. I'm spending time with my wife, spending more time with my son, my family, things like that, doing different things, having new experiences. So this is the best I've felt in a long time. Um, and honestly, I'm just grateful that I can work out and I can move, because you see people who can't do certain things. They can't even walk. Um, it's hard to get up out of bed. I'm just very grateful that I'm able to still train, because it does help me a lot. It is something that I'm very passionate about, and it does help with my mental health so much. It's the best I've felt mentally in a long time. So yeah, I think that's all I got, man. I know this is probably all over the place, but yeah, this just came to me. I wanted to share my story, my journey, um, and share your journey with me down below in the comment section. What has your journey been like? Why did you start working out? What keeps you working out consistently over the years? Share your story with me down below. But yeah, and it's crazy because I've had this channel for so long and I feel like I've never really shared my story. So I wanted to do that. Hopefully you took something away from it. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta get this meal in before work. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We got lots of new content coming out. I wanna start doing some live streams. I wanna start doing some live workouts. I wanna start getting some people on the channel, some interview type stuff. Lots of ideas, lots of stuff. You just gotta stay tuned. And I will see y'all in my next video.